Hey guys, welcome to the basement. Once again, we are playing Oregon State Beavers Dynasty on MVP 06 NCAA Baseball from EA Sports. It's an oldie but goodie. And last time we left off after a win in Seattle against the Washington Huskies. We're going to finish off that series by doing a little quick manage of each game, and then I kind of speeded that up so it'll go quickly. As you see, we got a 5-0 lead against Washington in this one, as we are in the 7th inning making some moves. 5-2 now, and we're running away with it, an 8-2 lead in the 8th. And that's a final from Seattle in the second game of that 3-game series, an 8-2 win for us. Fossum gets the win. He's 5-4 now on the season. He has 7 strikeouts, gave up 2 runs. Rene Rogers went 2 for 5 with strikeout and a walk and 1 run scored. Banwart 1 for 5, struck out twice. Nick Swaden 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, had 2 RBIs, and drew a walk. Washburn was 1 for 4. Shinjo went 2 for 4, had 2 RBIs and scored a run as well. Tomko went 1 for 4. Maloney 2 for 5, had an RBI. Bigby 3 for 4 with an RBI, and Ari Riesland 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. He's been playing well lately. So the 8-2 victory puts us at 16-21 overall. No, we're 15-20, my bad. We're 15-20 overall as we go to the final game in Seattle, Washington against the UW Huskies. We're looking for the sweep in this one. We're up 1-0 now in the 4th. And now, all of a sudden, 4-0. We go to the 5th. As we, again, I managed these. I quick managed them. And then I speeded up the video of it just so we could work through them all. We're in the 7th now against Washington with a 5-3 lead. In the 8th, we tack on 2 more. It's 7-3 for us. It looks like we might come away with a sweep. 8-5 now in the 9th. And that is the ball game after Washington makes it exciting. It's an 8-7 win in Seattle. Rene Rogers went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Bigby went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Swaden was 0 for. Washburn 0 for 3. Did score a run though. He walked once. As we wait to catch up, Rodriguez and Conley. Conley was 1 for 1. Maloney was 1 for 5 with an RBI. Struck out twice. Ari Riesland, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He has been on fire lately. And Fellows went 1 for 4 as he came in to replace Banwart at shortstop, who got hurt early in the game. Bigby and Tomko with doubles, Fellows with the triple. Rene Rogers hit his 5th home run of the year. Norris, Bigby, Riesland with 2 RBIs. Fellows, Rogers had 2 RBIs. He's got 18 on the season. And Tomko with his 5th of the year. We look at the updated Pac-10 standings. We are 7-2 in conference and first place with a 16-20 overall record. Next up, we have the Arizona Wildcats. They are 25-13 overall, but they're in last place in the Pac-10 with a 3-6 record. Yet, they are ranked number 7 in the country at 25-13. So, we will see if Arizona is for real here in this next matchup. As you can see, we finished off the 3-game series in Seattle. We'll simulate through the Monday through Thursday, and we start a Friday series with the Arizona Wildcats at home at Goss Field in Corvallis. And this first game is Gaston against Harville. We have played a few games with Harville, so we're going to go ahead and quick manage this one, the opener, and then we'll play the next one. We're all tied up at 1 in the 4th between the Wildcats and us. They're number 7 in the country. We should be that good, but we had a very poor start to the season. The first month and a half was a awful start for Oregon State. 2-1 now. We have the lead in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th with a 2-1 lead. Oh, and Arizona ties it up at 2. And we're heading to extra innings in this one. 2-2 in extras. We're in the 11th inning. Somebody hit a home run for Arizona, and they go on to win it 4-2. This one is over. Ferrara gets the win for the Wildcats. Rene Rogers went 2 for 4 with 1 run scored. Banwart 1 for 4 with an RBI. He is back. Swaden 0 for 4. Washburn is 3 for 4 with 1 run scored. Castaneda 1 for 1. Shinjo 2 for 5 with an RBI. And Tomko out in right field was 2 for 5. Maloney 1 for 5. Riesland went 0 for finally. Shinjo, Rogers, Tomko, and Washburn all had doubles. Shinjo and Banwert with the RBIs, and sacrifice bunt by Ari Riesland. So we dropped the first one. That stops a 4-game winning streak as we head to game number 2 here from Corvallis, Oregon. It's the Arizona Wildcats, the Oregon State Beavers from Goss Field in Corvallis. Arizona ranked number 7 in the country, and Jim Fossum will start for us. He's 5-4, making his 13th start. A 2.16 ERA and 83 in the third innings. He's given up 82 hits with 50 strikeouts and just 3 walks. And Jeff Feinberg steps in. He is the third baseman for the 7th-ranked Wildcats. And he lofts one into center field for a base hit. Rogers fields it cleanly into Banwert. A runner on first for the Wildcats. Here is the hit to Banwert on to Riesland. Riesland can't turn 2 quick enough as Bigby tries to stretch out, but just not enough. Here's Banwert now. He touches the bag on to first for the double play, and that will end the inning. A nice double play there, turned by Banwert. And we head to the bottom of the first. Mike Lesher starting for the Wildcats. He's 0-1 with a 7.63 ERA. He's only making his 5th start of the season. In 15 innings, he's given up 24 hits, so this could be one that we get our offense rolling on. Here is the first pitch from Lesher, and it's grounded to the left side, to the shortstop, and Rene Rogers is thrown out. Up next is Banwert, and Banwert with a little looper into right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Banwert's on first. With a single, brings up Nick Swaden, the left fielder. Swaden grounds it to the right side. On to second for 1, and the slide breaks up the double play, and Banwert is hurt on the slide again. Banwert's going to have to leave the game. Second time in 3 games that Banwert's gotten hurt, and Fellows is going to have to replace him at shortstop. Brings up Gino Washburn now with 2 outs and a runner on first. Swaden has speed at first. Washburn grounds it off the first base bag and into right field. And Swaden's going to end up at third. Washburn rounding first, heading for second, and he's going to be in there with a double. David Shinjo now with a chance to drive in a pair of runs with 2 outs. And Shinjo laces it back up the middle. 1 run comes in to score, but they have to hold. No, Washburn's coming to the plate, and he is out standing up. Bad decision there for Washburn to come to the plate. And the Beavers get 1 run out of it, but the rally ends as Washburn, the big designated hitter slash backup catcher, is thrown out at the plate. So it's 1-0 Beavers. Here's Matt Lowry for Arizona. Lowry pops it up on the right side. Ari Riesland underneath it, and he's going to make the play for out number 1. We are almost to the final month of the season, guys, hoping that we can win the Pac-10 conference and get into the regional tournament. 2 outs now for Arizona in the top of the second. Here's a drive into right field. Tomko's underneath it, and that retires the side for the Beavers. We head to the bottom. It's 1-0 Oregon State. Tomko, Maloney, and Bigby due up for OSU. Here is Tomko. He drives it into right field. That one's going to stay up long enough for the right fielder to camp underneath it. Jeff Maloney now, the third baseman, steps into the box. And Maloney grounds it to the right side. Brandon Bigby now with 2 outs. He's the first baseman for us. On the first pitch of the at-bat, he grounds it to second. Easy play out there for Arizona, and that will end the second inning. Score is still 1-0 in favor of the Beavers. Lampkin and Reese will get things started off here for Arizona in the top of the third. Here's Lampkin. Lampkin, Fossum's delivery, grounded to Riesland on the right side. Riesland on to first for the out. Here's Adam Rees now. Adam Rees on a 1-1 count. Here's the delivery from Fossum. Reese grounds it to second again. Riesland is there on to first for the out. We got 2 down. Jim Wold, the Wildcat second baseman, steps in. Big curveball from Fossum to Riesland again for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still 1-0. Ari Riesland will lead things off. He's batting .191 on the season. He has been hitting pretty well lately, though. And this one, he doesn't get out of the infield. A nice line out to second base. Here's Rene Rogers. He's 0 for 1 on the day. A .324 batting average. He turns on a changeup, driving it deep into right field. This one is back, and it is gone. Another home run for Rene Rogers. That is number 6 on the season for the Oregon State sophomore center field phenom. He is 1 of 2 today, a home run and RBI. That's 6 for him. One of the best hitters in the country. Al Fellows now, the shortstop. And Fellows grounds it to the right side. Play made at first. We've got 2 outs now in the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Oregon State. Here's Swaden. Swaden, ground ball to the right side. Second baseman on to first with no problem. At the end of the third, OSU scores 1 run, making it 2-0. Feinberg back up for the Wildcats as the lineup turns over for them. And he lofts one into center field again, drops in front of Rene Rogers. Rogers gets it back into second and holds him to a base hit. Here is the drive to Riesland at second, on to Fellows at first. And the double play is made. Brings up Anthony Connor, one of the best hitters in the country. He's batting .424. Connor lines it back up the middle, and the quick reactions of Fossum to snag it. It's still 2-0 Oregon State. Here's Gino Washburn in the bottom of the fourth. Washburn drives it to the right side, backhanded there by the first baseman. For Arizona, Shinjo comes to the plate now. He's 1 for 1 on the day, batting .208 on the season. Here's the delivery from Lesher. And the curveball is swung on and missed. The first strikeout of the game for Arizona and Lesher. Devon Tomko now, batting .222. Here's the delivery from Lesher is a slider down and away. And Tomko just lines it to first for the final out of the inning. At the end of the fourth, it's still 2-0. Oregon State with the lead. Here's the drive into right field in front of Tomko. Omar Foster to the plate now. He's batting .396, 0 for 1 today. Runner on first with nobody out. Here is a base hit into left field. Swaden is on it. Gets it back in before the runner can make the turn to third. And Travis Dowd will bring his .311 batting average to the box with nobody out and 2 on. And Dowd pops this one straight up the chute. Shinjo underneath it. Infield fly rule is called, and Shinjo makes the catch. Scott Lampkin now. He's batting .331. Still runners on first and second. He lines this one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It's into the corner. Swaden has to chase it down at the wall. Runner rounding third is going to head back to the base. So Arizona scores a run, and they've got runners on second and third. Fossum gets the strikeout. Jim Wool now with 2 outs on a 3-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Fellows on to first for the out, and Arizona strands runners at second and third at the middle of 5. It's still 2-1 in favor of Oregon State. Here's Jeff Maloney. Maloney from Lesher, who is still in the game into the 5th inning. Arizona will take that from him, given his track record. Here's the ground ball to the right side. For out number 2, Ari Riesland comes to the plate. He's got his batting average above the Mendoza line finally. .216 average. He grounds it up the middle for a base hit. That's his second hit of the day. So Riesland is on first. Brings up Rene Rogers. He homered in his last at bat, and this time he checks swings and strikes out to end the inning. The end of the 5th, it's 2-1 Beavers. Feinberg and Meyer set to lead things off for Arizona in the top of the 6th. Fossum still in for the Beavers. Easy line drive over to Fellows. Here's Hector Meyer Wiener at the plate. All right, that wasn't even funny. Hector Meyer Wiener. Don't ask me where that came from. On to Bigby for the out. Anthony Connor now, .417. He's the left fielder. Connor drives it right back up the middle. Nice play again by Fossum, as Fossum has robbed Connor of base hits twice in this game. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Al Fellows. And Fellows goes down looking on the pitch from Lesher. Nick Swaden comes in now. He's batting .213. That's an average we'd like to see go up. He's a much better hitter than that. Swaden drives it down the right field line. He's rounding first. He's heading to second. The right fielder gets it. Swaden's heading to third, and he's going to reach it standing up. A stand-up triple for Nick Swaden. With 1 out, Washburn draws the walk. So we got runners on the corners now, and here's Shinjo. Shinjo swings over the changeup for the second out. Here is Tomko as the Wildcats. Lesher's gone deeper than he has in a game before, and he gets hurt. And Arizona's got to bring in a new pitcher here, and he gets the strikeout to end the inning with runners on the corners. Matt Lowry now, the catcher for Arizona. He's batting .324. Top of the 7th inning. Ground ball to Riesland at second. Riesland takes his time on to first for the first out. Here's Omar Foster. His average has reached 400. We're in the 7th. It's still 2-1 Oregon State. Rene Rogers coming in. He's not going to reach this one on the fly. And it's going to be a base hit for Foster. Here's Travis Dowd, the right fielder. He's batting .309. With Foster on first, a big breaking ball. And he drives this one into left field, a base hit. And we're going to have runners on first and second for Scott Lampkin, who is 1 for 2 today with a double and an RBI. Lampkin swings and misses at the fastball. So Fossum with the strikeout. And there is 2 outs now for Adam Reese, who's batting .300. Runners on first and second. Here's Reese. He drives it to the left side, and Maloney makes the catch on the fly for out number 3. We stretch here in Corvallis. It's 2-1 Beavers.
That's huge to get the first out of the inning.
Arizona with the strikeout. Brandon Bigby comes to the plate with 1 out. The bats have not swung well here for Oregon State. Play on to first. Ari Riesland now. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Batting .223. Riesland bloops one into right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit, and Riesland rounds first. He's starting to head to second, but he's going to put on the brakes and head back to first. Rene Rogers now with 2 outs and a runner on first, and Rogers goes the other way with a curveball, and that one's going to drop as well. Here's the runner heading for third. Here's the throw, the dive tag. He is out. A nice diving tag by the third baseman for Arizona, and that will end the inning. Oregon State's going to get a new pitcher in here to face Wohl, and he gets the strikeout. Feinberg comes to the plate now. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Ground ball up the middle. Fellows on to first, and he gets back down on the bag in time. Here's Hector Meyer-Wiener at .353. Hector Meyer drives it deep into center field. Rogers is going to get to that one. Rogers covers a lot of ground out there in center. Oh, and he drops it. Rogers does not make the catch. It hits the turf. Here's Anthony Connor now, batting .410 in the 8th. That error might come back to haunt Oregon State. Here's Swaden on to third. We got runners on first and second for the Wildcats, trying to make a late push in this one. And Oregon State is going to call for Magana to come out to face this batter, who grounds it to the left side. Swaden's throw to the plate is not in time, and we are tied up at 2 in the 8th. Here's the ground ball to the right. Riesland on to first for the out. And at the end of the Arizona 8th, it's all tied up at 2. Here's Al Fellows. Fellows steps in, breaking ball, hit to the right side. And the right fielder is camped underneath it for out number 1. Nick Swaden now, batting .219. And Swaden is going to swing and miss at some high cheese. That's out number 2. Gino Washburn at the plate now. He's always a threat to go yard. Fastball, and Washburn drives it right back up the middle for a base hit. Washburn is on first with 2 outs. And it brings up, I think this is Shinjo. And Shinjo swings and misses. So we go to the top of the 9th inning, all tied up at 2. Magana still pitching for the Beavers. And a base hit to the right side for Arizona. Gets a runner on first for the shortstop, Scott Lampkin. Lampkin's going to try to put a bunt down. He does. Magana with it. On to first to Riesland. And so we got a runner in scoring position. The DH, Adam Reese, at the plate with 1 out. And Reese drives it deep to center field. Sorry, there's 1 out. And Rogers makes the catch. Here's Jim Wohl now, the second baseman, batting .265 with 2 outs in the 9th. And he lines it to Maloney at third. And we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, all tied up at 2. Tomko, Maloney, and Bigby will all get a shot to walk this one off for the Beavs. Here's Tomko's chance. 1-1 delivery. Tomko grounds it to the right side. Easy play for the first baseman. He steps on the bag for out number 1. Here is Jeff Maloney now, batting .270. the third baseman for the Beavs. Facing the left-hander on the 0-0 pitch, he drives a changeup high into the sky. Long run for the left fielder, and he's going to make the catch in foul territory. Brandon Bigby gets out there. And we head to the top of the 10th inning. In the top of the 10th, a base hit up the middle for the leadoff guy, and Arizona is in business. Here's Hector Meyer Wiener now, 357 batter. He's going to try to lay down the sacrifice, which he does nicely. Maloney charging. It's going to be a tough play at first, and he gets him. Nice play by Maloney to get that one barehanded and over to first. Runner on second now. Base hit into center field. Rogers is on it. That run's going to score. The ball gets through the gap and all the way to the wall. Around second, heading for third is the batter. The run comes in to score. That's an RBI triple. And it's 3-2 Arizona here in the 10th. Here's the pitch from Magana. Fly ball deep to right field to Tomko. And that is going to score another run as the runner tags from third. He'll come in to score. The throw's cut off by Bigby. Omar Foster comes to the plate, batting .401. It's 4-2 Wildcats with the lead as the Beavers led the whole game. Coughed up the lead in the 8th inning, and now they trail. Heading to the bottom of the 10th with their backs against the wall, trying to even up this 3-game series at 1 apiece. Ground ball to short. Nice play made for the first out. Here's a quick ground ball to second. Another nice play. Easy play there for Arizona. We've got 2 outs, and Al Fellows, who came in for Banwart early in this one. After Banwart was hurt, he swings and misses, and Arizona wins the first 2 games of this series here in Corvallis. It's a big one for the Wildcats as they need to turn things around if they want to contend for the Pac-10 title. Oregon State drops these 2 after a 4-game winning streak. They are still near the top of the Pac-10 and will still have a chance to compete down the stretch. Rene Rogers went 2 of 5 with an RBI and a home run in this one. Banwart was 1 for 1 before getting hurt. Swaden went 1 for 4. Washburn 2 for 3. Shinjo went 1 for 4. And Riesland 2 for 4. He continues to hit the ball pretty well. Quick look at the updated standings. Oregon State, we're 7-4 now in second place behind the Stanford Cardinal. That will be our next conference series is against Stanford. And we'll have that here on Oregon State Beavers Dynasty. The Stanford Cardinal, and after Stanford, we play Washington State. So we've got a couple of series coming up against the top contenders in the Pac-10. But we're going to quickly do a quick manage to finish off this 3-game series with the 7th-ranked Wildcats. We're in the second inning of game number 3, and Arizona is up 3-0, up 4-0 now. Looking for the 3-game sweep. We're on the board. It's 4-2 in the 6th. In the 7th inning, it's 5-2, 5-3. Oh, we've tied it up and taken the lead in the 8th. It's 6-5. And in the 9th, we end up winning this one 9-7. A nice come-from-behind win for Oregon State in this one. We avoid the sweep. And next up for us, we take on the USC Trojans. So, sorry about that, guys. We don't play Stanford next, but our next episode will be with Stanford. We have to get through this USC series first, which we will do now. USC and Oregon State in the first of a 3-game series. Oregon State's leading 1-0 here in the 8th. Again, I quick managed it, and I am just speeding through it for you guys to see the final scores and see how the games turned out. USC wins this one 4-3. So we lose the opener against USC at home, and we've lost 3 of the last 4 games. Here's the second game of this 3-game series with the Trojans. We're up 3-2 in the 3rd. We go to the 4th, it's all tied up at 3. In the 5th, still tied up at 3. We go to the 6th, still tied up. We're into the 8th inning now. We put a run on the board to take the 4-3 lead, and then a 5-3 lead. And we end up with the win 5-3, so we even up the series 1-1 with USC. Cantu gets the loss. This is the next game. My bad. This is the rubber match of the 3-game series with USC. Cantu goes for USC and Rodriguez pitching for us. We're up 1-0 in this one. We're into the 6th inning here now, still up 1-0. Trying to win 2 out of 3 against the Trojans, and they put some runs on the board, and all of a sudden we're down 4-1 in the 8th. We're in the 9th, and we drop this one, so we lose the series against USC. This is a disappointment. This is a series we should have and could have dominated, and we didn't. So we are now 2-4 in our last 6 games as we head into, I think we play Illinois a couple of times before we get back into conference play against Stanford. So catch us next episode on Oregon State Beavers baseball as we take on Stanford in a late push towards the Pac-10 title. I think we'll be into the final month of the season by then. So hope you enjoyed this one, and catch us another time for Oregon State Baseball Dynasty here in the basement.